For the longest time, I thought everyone else had their YouTube niche figured out except me. I would watch creators and wonder, how do they know? But over time, I realized it's not having all the answers upfront. Most of us figure it out by trying, adjusting, and slowly finding our way. And in this video, I will walk you through the simple steps that are helping me do that so you don't feel stuck like once I did. And by the way, this is episode number 2 of my YouTube series for beginners, where I'm sharing all the things I have learned and I'm still learning about creating content on YouTube that feels aligned and sustainable. So let's start with why niche picking feels hard. I think there are multiple major reasons behind this. Number one reason is what is called analysis paralysis. And the name suggests what it means. When we start analyzing something too much, then it causes paralysis. That means we keep analyzing the thing, but we stop taking any action. And I face this a lot. I have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze everything. And this habit makes me take action either very slowly or taking no action at all. Now, what it looks like when we try finding our niche. In most cases, what we do is spending hours, even weeks, searching for the perfect channel niche. And what do we do? Researching channel topics, maybe jotting down their pros and cons list. And this research goes on and on. This way, we get stuck in this researching loop without taking any action. And I did this myself when I started my blog for the first time and started my YouTube channel. You know what? When I did this, what happened to me? I got so much overwhelmed. I didn't take any action for weeks. I was stuck in a loop in the research mode without taking any action. And I think the worst effect of this is what feels right today might feel wrong the next day or next week. This is how we get stuck in a loop, and either we take no action or take very small action. So if you have ever felt stuck like this, like I did once, here is why it actually happens. And this is not your fault. The number one reason is fear of failure. And this is the real fear when we start something new, because anything new is uncertain. We don't know the result. The reason number 2 is the perfectionism trap. We want to be 100% perfect and sure even before we start. So, this is a trap because it's not possible to get better at something unless we keep trying. So, this is not going to happen, but I know that we keep that unrealistic perfect in our mind, and that's one of the major reasons I think that we get stuck to take any action. And this brings me to my next reason, the comparison. I thought that their niche looks so perfect, but why isn't mine? But you know what is the truth? We don't know their starting point, and we're comparing our first days with their maybe year number 5 or more. So, how is that even justified? And what I learned this far is finding the perfect niche is really difficult when we start. To find the perfect niche idea, we keep waiting and waiting. Ultimately, we don't even start and we get stuck in the thinking loop. And I did this exact thing before starting my YouTube channel, my blog. I waited and waited to find that perfect niche. I kept researching this and that without taking any action. As I'm talking about picking niche for YouTube, let's talk about YouTube now. Even 1 year back, when I started this YouTube channel, I had skincare in my mind. Then I included other beauty topics like makeup, hair care. And why did I do that? Because I saw that other beauty creators who were my inspiration were doing them all. So I started doing them all. And the result? Eventually, I felt disconnected. And for other different reasons, I decided to pivot. So, what I learned is niche can be developed over time, because when we start creating, we get to know our interest deeply. And it's very much okay if you are not clear at the very start. And I learned this from some of the successful creators that niche is flexible and it can evolve with you. Picking a niche isn't about boxing yourself in. It's about giving yourself a starting point that feels natural to you. So, if you choose a rigid niche at the start, you are going to be trapped inside a box because you don't have any creative freedom to experiment now. And I learned this lesson the hard way. So I want you to remember this thing so you don't do the same mistake I did. And this time, after I decided to pivot, I did something different to choose what my channel will be about. And this brings me to my next point, which is the 3P framework that I applied this time before deciding what my channel will be about. This framework helped me align my channel with my authentic self. This is going to help you to build a channel that's based on your interest, and it will also make it feel natural to talk about the things you love. And most importantly, it will help you to align your channel with your authentic self. This is, I think, super important. So, stick to the end of the video to know this three-part framework. So, coming to the 3P framework, and the first P stands for personality. And this step is exactly what it says. It should feel like you. In this step, think about your interest. And this should be the topics that feel natural to you, not forced. And still, if you are not sure what these topics are in case of you, then here are some simple ways to find your interest. Think about the topics you often talk about when you go in a conversation with your family or friends. You can talk about these topics without getting bored because these are your interests and you love them. Another simple way to find your interest is the topics you often consume, because what you consume is primarily based on your interest. That's why you are searching for it, you are consuming it. So, this is another simple and nice way to find your interest. Now, in this step, what you have to do is simply brainstorm the topics you find interest in and just jotting down somewhere. It could be some digital space like Notion or any note taking app, or you could also use a pen and paper. Anything is fine for now. In this stage, you have to jot down all of your interest without overthinking it. So, first step is complete. Now, coming to the second step, the second P stands for practicality. Ask yourself, what's doable for you? What I mean is, you have to think about your time, energy, daily responsibilities that you have to do, and also the financial investments. This time, when I pivoted to my new channel topic, I tried to keep in mind all of this. So, let's see an example. Ask yourself, how much time and energy can I invest for this? Also, ask yourself, how much financial investment are needed for this topic? Let's say you want to review tech gadgets or maybe luxury makeups. Have you seen those nice aesthetic ASMR videos of those luxury makeups? I just love them. But you have to think about the monetary aspect, because from day one, no brand is going to pay you. You have to buy all of this. So now, in step number two, what you have to do is, keeping all these things in your mind, you have to check all the topics that you jotted down in step number one. Now, coming to the last P of this 3P framework, and the last P stands for path. Now, what I mean by this is, you have to think about where it could grow. You have to pick the topics that have potential to grow. And you have to ask this yourself before picking the niche, especially if you are trying to do YouTube for the monetary aspect. Ask yourself, does it give you enough room to create videos? Can you list down 15 ideas on this topic? Have you seen any big creator who is creating content on this topic consistently? You have to do some research, because if a successful creator creates content on the topic you are interested in, then it's a strong signal that multiple videos can be produced on this topic. And I think this is definitely important to think about this, because to run your channel, you have to upload content consistently. Think about it. What if I run out of ideas? So you have to ask all of these questions I just talked about. And now it's time to check the ones that you have filtered in step number 2. And this way you got the topics that have qualified the 3P framework test. So the next step is use ChatGPT to find your niche. So now you already have narrowed down your interest that have qualified this simple 3P framework. You already have done the heavy lifting. Now it's time to use the power of AI. And this time before pivoting, I did this exact same thing. So what you have to do is go to ChatGPT, give a prompt like this. Here are the topics I'm genuinely interested in. Now, here you have to insert your 3P approved interest list. Then write, can you help me shape a channel vision, 3 content pillars, and describe my target audience? And in a few seconds, ChatGPT will answer this, and you will have some clear idea about what your channel is going to look like, what is going to be your target audience, and what content pillars, or you might call it the subcategory of your channel, going to look like. Now, keep all these details somewhere in your digital space. It may be Notion or Google Doc. Remember, these are just suggestions by ChatGPT and a good starting point. You are always free to decide what you want to create. This way, you have picked a niche for your channel that is based on your interest. And this way, you have created your channel in a very thoughtful way, not created randomly. And if you are starting your YouTube channel, it can feel overwhelming with all the little steps. So I made a simple, gentle checklist to help you start in a calm, pressure free way. It's completely free, and you will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment section below. Now, although you have picked your channel based on your interest in a very thoughtful way, it's natural to feel doubt in this initial stage. And you might think that, what if I don't like this? So that's why this step is very important, which is called the 3 video test. What you have to do is you don't need to commit to the niche you just discovered for your channel, because in the initial days there is no crowd. So you can take the advantage of it and you have the freedom to experiment. So again, you can use ChatGPT and give a prompt like this. Give me 15 YouTube video ideas to start my channel, 5 ideas for each of my content pillars. Now, what you have to do is, out of these 15 ideas, you have to pick just 3, one idea per content pillar, and pick those that you feel most exciting to create. And also make sure to stick to a practical schedule that feels doable for you. It could be monthly once or twice, weekly once or twice, which is the most common one. When I went through these steps after pivoting from my old beauty niche, it made such a huge difference in figuring out what my channel will be about. And I hope it does the same for you. And if you already have a niche idea in your mind, share it in the comments. I would love to hear. Now that you have got clarity on your niche, the next step is turning those ideas into actual videos you can create. And in episode number 3, I will walk you through the simple workflow I use now, a system that makes YouTube content creation flow more smooth and feel way less overwhelming. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love for you to join me. You will get a notification when episode 3 goes live. And if it's already up, then it should be right here on your screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you there.